Alright. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94 here, man. Jada, why you capping, bruh? Jada Pinkett Smith, why you capping, bruh? I should slap you upside the back of your head right now. Why you capping on Tupac, man? Like, real talk. I don't care what you're doing with your husband. What you doing with your husband, that's between you and him. But Pac ain't here no more. He can't defend himself against your craziness. I don't know if you going through menopause or what. Whatever it is the fuck you going through, you need to leave Tupac out of it. Because now you dragging him into your craziness. You need to stop. Okay? You need to stop. I don't know what your problem is, but bitch, you need to stop. You need to be stopped. You need to be stopped.
For the love of God! For the love of God! Please! Why? Damn! Bruh.
Bitch, you need to be stopped. I don't know what your frustration is or what your transgressions is, but you need to stop. You need to be silenced once and for all. This don't make no fucking sense. How the fuck? Are you out here using Tupac name in vain when we are trying to figure out who killed this man? Now, when you put that little post up and you and Tupac dancing the wheel music, we been knew about that. We been saw that. The internet never fails, right? It's full circle. We all know about it. I ain't worried about that. You was just reminiscing because you found out that they're cracking down on the Tupac thing, and you just wanted to reminisce because that's your friend and you miss him. Understand? I understand. But bitch, you gone too far now. Why you capping saying that Tupac proposed to you when he was in jail? Why you cap? Why you going all the smoke and cap like that? When we got the truth right here in front of us. Y'all see the title. You know why you clicked on the video. Cause Jada be capping. That's what it is. Jada be capping, bruh. Jada, stop capping, bruh. Capping ain't good for you. You know what I'm saying? You don't do no shit like that. You don't lost your rabbit ass mind. I should slap you upside the back of your head. With the holy water. Just bow right upside your head like you cut, G. But anyways, though, I swear, bro, she getting on my fucking nerves now. Because I didn't care what was going on between her and Will. That's between her and Will. I ain't got nothing to do with that, chief. Okay? Only time I ever even felt some type of way about that situation was when he slapped the shit out of Chris Rock. Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. That shit was hilarious. He slapped the shit out of Chris Rock on national television. That shit was fucking hilarious. You don't see no shit like that every day. That was some amazing shit.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
That's some amazing shit. I ain't never seen no shit like that.
To this day! To this day! To this day!
I ain't never seen no shit like that. But anyways, though, we gonna get right into this. We gonna load the truth. Not that bullshit Jada talking about in that weak ass book that ain't nobody finna really read. But anyway, so let's get right into this.
Summer of 1994, and a night full of anticipation. People gathered at the Capitol Club in New York. Word got out that Tupac Shakur and his entourage were there. Wesley Snipes was also in the building. 1994 was the year O.J. Simpson was making headlines. Forrest Gump was in the theatres, and the FIFA World Cup had come to America. Keisha Morris was also at the club with her friend. She spotted Tupac and told her friend to hold her bag. "I'm gonna dance with Tupac," she said. In an interview with Jamie Foster Brown, Keisha described going over to Tupac. She grabbed him and said, "Come on, let's go." They hit it off right away and danced to Cream by Wu-Tang Clan.
Hey,
Why are you
cash
saying
rules
that?
everything
That's not your
around
song,
me.
she said.
Cream get the
And Tupac
money.
laughed.
Dollar
Watch for more
bill,
on the story
y'all.
of Tupac Shakur and his wife, Keisha Morris. Was she the love of his life? Tupac was already a well-known rapper and actor when he and Keisha met. He had released his first 2 albums, Tupacalypse Now and Strictly For My, and he was the star of movies Juice and Poetic Justice. He had begun work on his 3rd album, Me Against the World, and was dealing with huge legal troubles. Later, he would be sentenced to up to 4.5 years in prison. Keisha was attending John Jay College of Criminal Justice and working as a camp counselor. She was an accomplished student who was very ambitious. She had dreams of becoming a legal professional or an educator.
You could
Of
have
their
found a
first
better
encounter,
picture.
she said, "We met when I was 20 at the Capitol. We were dancing and we spoke briefly. He was going through something legally at the time. I told him to just be careful of the people he's around and that I hope everything works out." Nothing came of their first meeting. They didn't even exchange numbers or make plans to meet up again. But Keisha made a huge impression on Pac. He couldn't forget about her and he kept a lookout for her in the big city of New York, hoping to bump into her again. He even went to different clubs looking for her for an entire month. He finally bumped into her again at the Tunnel nightclub. Keisha said, "He tried to invite me back to his hotel room. I was like, no, that's not happening. He gave me his number and I gave him my house number. It was too expensive to have a cell phone back then, so he gave me his Sky pager. The next day, I had to go to work and he called me when I got home. I was in shock. We started talking from that day on. The two met up the following day. Tupac was staying at the Paramount Hotel and insisted that Keisha come down there to meet him. She was reluctant at first, but eventually agreed. She wore a t-shirt, baseball cap and jeans because she didn't want to give him the wrong impression. He took her to see Forrest Gump, which Keisha had no interest in seeing. She thought it was corny. But
See, she a classy chick, man. See, I wish there was more women like Keisha out there. I wish there was more women like Keisha out there. Shout out to Keisha, man. Shout out to Keisha, man. She classy with it. I see you. She ain't trying to be fast with it, trying to give it up all like that because Tupac got money. Nah, she got class. She got standards. That's what I'm talking about. Do your thing. I likes me a woman like that. You heard me?
Tupac said, "It's the #1 movie in the country." While they were watching the movie, Tupac explained to Keisha that he had read for the part of Bubba.
There's pineapple shrimp, lemon shrimp, coconut shrimp.
She thought she was in a dream. Keisha said, "In the movie theatre, the people in front of us had small children, and I think the child was agitated. They were there for a long time, and this man started yelling to the woman, 'Why don't you shut that kid up?' And Park was like, 'You know that's a child. The baby can't help it.' And I thought he spoke very calmly. I was so surprised because of the bad person the media portrayed him to be, spitting at the camera, very arrogant. He was nothing like that. He was a total gentleman, very respectful.
He's a real one.
Opened the door, asked, 'What do you want? What would you like?' A total gentleman." After their first date, Tupac flew back to Atlanta and Keisha went away on a camp trip for work. She said Tupac left several messages for her while she was away. She was unable to call him because there were no phones where she was. The messages were very sweet, she said. He was like, Keisha, where are you? This is Tupac. And when I came home, I decided to fly to Atlanta. I paid for it myself. He was so impressed. He was like, I've never had a girl pay for anything on her own.
She classy, that's why. Shout out to Keisha, she a real one.
Stayed there for the weekend. She said he had a beautiful big house with a pool in the back. The house was a bachelor pad, but decorated to his style. He treasured his pool table and big screen TV. Even during their wedding ceremony, Tupac said, Keisha can't have his big screen TV or pool table. When a judge said something about sharing worldly possessions, Keisha found this amusing. He was always cracking jokes. Tupac loved to have cookouts.
He's like, at least I got my pool table with my big screen TV. You can have everything else.
And loved to drink orange soda. He also ate pomegranates.
Oh, he just like Kale.
And would make a huge mess with them. He used to have me searching and searching to buy 100 of them, she said. When she left, he promised he would come to New York to visit her, as he was going to be on tour. He called Keisha every day. He was really making me believe and feel that this may be something. When I came home from work one day, there were a dozen roses. I wasn't there, so they were left with my next door neighbour. But by the time I came home, my father had the roses, and he was standing there with his wife, and they were like, "Is this Tupac the rapper?" I said, "Mind your business," and I took the roses upstairs. Keisha and Park dated for 11 months before getting married. She went with him to the music studio while he was working on his album, Me Against the World. He recorded it in both LA and New York. He went away to Hawaii and would call her daily. He bought her a gift while he was there. He called her to tell her, but she wanted it to be a surprise. Instead, he read her a poem. The poem was about time. She didn't get it. Later, when he arrived home, he gave her the gift. It was a Gucci watch. He also had one, so they had a matching set. He even bought her a dog, despite her saying that she didn't like dogs.
Damn.
Tupac insisted.
Come on, Pac, you gotta understand ladies more, man.
Quote, the cutest thing. She ended up bonding with the dog after all. He would make surprise visits to her apartment. On one occasion, she was at school when he came around. He ended up waiting for her. When she arrived home, she saw what looked like 100 people gathered outside her apartment building. She spotted Tupac signing autographs. People had spotted him, and then they ran home and brought their CDs to him to sign. He had been there for a while. He was not very pleased and said he needed a key ASAP. She laughed and agreed. Continue watching to know how her parents reacted to Tupac and what Keisha thought about his criminal charges. Tupac bought Keisha a car for her birthday and even arranged a small get-together for her. Her parents met him and ended up really liking him.
He's a real one.
At first, her mother was not on board with the relationship, but warmed to him the more she got to know him. Keisha also met Afeni and Tupac's family and spent the weekend with them. My father loved Park, she said. He admired him. They used to talk. It was wonderful. On my birthday, Park had a little get-together for me. He got a chance to meet my mother for the first time. My mother and him didn't hit it off too well in the beginning, but hit it off as time went on. He bought my mother a little gift. He made the approach to her. It was beautiful. I was very proud of him. Keisha was well aware of the charges Tupac was facing and his impending trial. In fact, he stayed with her in New York while he was attending court cases. Her apartment was a place of solace for him during a difficult and dark period in his life. He stayed with Keisha despite having a hotel room he could use. At this time, she said he was practically living with her. She even saw TV coverage of the trial. She told him, "You don't have to worry. I'm in your corner. I'm not going to leave you now." She believed it would not be the proper thing to do. They were still not married at this point. They married while he was in jail. She had no obligation to stay, but she did. She said, "I don't know what happened. I wasn't in the room. I was nowhere around. I know he stated that he didn't have anything to do with it. I didn't want to see him go to jail for something he said he didn't do. That kind of thing is tough on everybody. I didn't know what to believe. I was 20 years old. I didn't know what was going on."
And, you know, he never treated me bad, so I can't, you know, go on what the media, because I didn't know that.
Really. Let me ask you, forget relying on what the media has to say then. How does one in your position come to feel comfortable being in a situation and being in an intimate relationship with a man who has in fact been known, or at least certainly reported, to have been, as I said earlier, less than kind? I'm just using that for lack of a better phrase, but certainly less than kind to African-American women. How'd you get yourself in a mindset to be comfortable in a relationship with a man who had that kind of reputation?
She just fucking told you, nigga. What the fuck is you... Bro, this that media propaganda, bro. Y'all was so quick. Y'all so quick to diminish this man in his greatness, bro. If he a good person, he a good person, bro. It's just he probably just don't like y'all because he know how fake y'all are. He know the vultures that y'all can be. So of course he gonna act out against y'all because he don't like y'all. Has that ever occurred to you that maybe people just don't like y'all? Why does the media act like they the most likable people in the world when they not? Nobody likes the media, bruh. She just told you, bruh. He was never that type of person. He was a different, sweethearted, kind person to her. You had to take that for face value. She had a more deeper experience with Pac than you did or anybody else did. So if there's a bigger connection between them two, then you need to accept that, bro. Instead of reacting the same question, but in a different type of manner and in a different type of... See, that's the problem with the media. See, that's that fake shit, bro. That's that shit I don't like, bro. For real. Fuck you, bro. You an asshole.
To begin with.
Because he was not less than kind to me.
She just told you that.
He was
dumbass boy.
A very caring individual. You know, he was very... Those instances were very few out of a whole lot of good. So I can't go by just, you know, a few instances that has happened, you know, to him.
You know, of course my parents didn't want me to be involved with anything like that. Being a good girl, you don't know. She said she was caught up in the excitement of dating Tupac. But in the end, she had to learn some tough lessons. Would I do it again now? Absolutely not. But at the time, you're young. You don't know. Keisha chose to support Tupac and believed in his innocence. On top of everything else, Tupac got shot 5 times at the Quad Recording Studios on 7th Avenue in Manhattan. This happened just before he was sentenced, as Tupac, his manager, and a friend approached the elevator. 3 gunmen appeared and demanded their money and jewelry. His manager and friend handed over their money, but Pac began cursing out the gunman. He was shot repeatedly and robbed of $40,000 worth of jewelry.
Goddamn.
His friend dragged him into the elevator for safety. He later called Keisha to tell her he had been shot. He told her to call his mum. Keisha said she blacked out when she got the call. She called his family and made her way to the hospital with a Fenny. When she heard the details of the shooting, she almost passed out. She said when she got there, Tupac was cracking jokes and showed her his groin, one of the areas he had been shot. Pac found out about his sentencing. When they were in hospital, the lawyers came in and told him. I guess I don't know what he was thinking. I just remember the lawyers coming in and he was actually watching it on TV. It was an intense moment. You know, I was with Pac at a major point in his life. I'd been through the ups and downs, and it was a lot. He went to jail after that and spent some time in the jail's treatment facility before getting moved to the Clinton Correctional Facility. She was in the last weeks of school when this happened. She managed to finish, but she put her job on hold to move nearer to him. Keisha and Tupac married on the 29th of April, 1995. He told her, I don't want you saying you're my
your
girlfriend.
capping ass.
I want people to take you seriously and let them know that you're my wife.
That's all we needed to know. Jada, you a capping ass bitch, bro. Shut up. It's just say you and Pac was good friends, man. You don't have to go this deep with Pac, bro. You tarnishing his name. Now, what you do with Will, that's between you and Will. But don't tarnish Tupac name in the midst of your craziness. That's why nobody don't want to be around your ass right now. Cause you and all this craziness is getting on our nerve, bro. You bringing Pac into this, who is not here to defend himself, who is not here to speak for himself, or to confirm any of these crazy allegations you put in. No, stop it. This is who he was married to when he was in jail. He ain't proposed to you. Fuck out of here. He ain't proposed to you. He probably gave you some kind words that seemed like a proposal. But he never probably, but I know he didn't propose to you because look at what this is. This is real love. This is somebody who he imagines in his life, bro. He probably wasn't even thinking about you at this time. But the good thing though was you was there for him. That's all that matters. As long as you was there for him, he knew he could trust you. But he probably wasn't thinking about your ass around this time. You wanted to be with the Fresh Prince, you should have stayed with the Fresh Prince. Gone somewhere. Gone somewhere. Please, gone somewhere. Please, for the love of God, please. Please, Jada, please.
For the love of God! For the love of God! Please! Damn! Damn! Delete! 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 Delete!
Please, Jada, shut the fuck up.
Keisha admits
Capping
that
your
the marriage
rap,
was
my
partly
nigga.
strategic.
Capping your rap.
More on this later. Tupac was eventually sentenced and ended up spending 10 months in jail. Keisha visited him daily. She said being in jail was soul-crushing for him. He asked her to visit him every single day so he could look forward to having some time out of his cell. If she couldn't be there, she would arrange for someone else to go. Tupac was incarcerated at the Clinton Correctional Facility in Dannemora, a small town in Clinton County, New York. This is where their wedding ceremony took place. Keisha moved up there to be closer to him. The editor of Sister to Sister, who went there to interview Park, said Dannemora was the worst town she had ever seen.
This poor child up there by herself, basically. I mean, he brought some friends up there later to be with her, but Keisha literally moved up there and you went to see him in the morning and stayed with him about 2:30, then you went shopping with him, bought him clothes every day. So, I mean, I saw that. He talked to me about that also.
Keisha said, the whole town of Dannemora consists of a jail, a bank, a restaurant, a motel, a post office, a car dealership, and that's it. About 6 or 7 things. I didn't know anything about the town. I didn't know where I was. I took a bus up there. I never experienced anything like that in my life. That is not what my parents wanted for me. I went up there myself. I smiled to keep from crying. At the time there was a lot of frustration. He was taking a lot of those frustrations out on me. I had been here for 10 months. At that time, I literally lived up there. I had an apartment up there. I was going to see him. What else did you want me to do? If I had a magic wand, he would not have been there, sitting in jail. The only thing for me to do was help him, not hurt him. I wasn't looking for anything. I didn't ask for anything, she said. While Park was in jail, he lashed out at Keisha the most. She didn't hold it against him, and she knew he was dealing with a difficult situation. According to Keisha, they argued constantly.
Bro, she was a down as... Bro, she a real one, bro. Salute.
That's why he's everything! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
She's understanding. She was willing to sacrifice. Pac, why did you give up on her? Pac, why did you give up on her, bro? I need to know. Why did you give up on her, bro? She was understanding. She was willing to sacrifice. Bro, this is the one right here. This is every man's fantasy right here. Pac, what was you on?
He was under a lot of pressure while in jail.
I mean, I get it, you was in jail, but why leave? Why leave something that was good though?
He was thinking about who shot him and all his enemies on the outside. Certain songs were released by other rappers that Tupac perceived to be a threat.
This shit right here. Then they gonna try to downplay. It came out, it was made before it. But you put it out at the time though. You knew what you was doing. Diddy, Biggie, Bad Boy. Y'all knew what y'all was doing. Who shot you? Separate the weak from the... Come on, bruh. You put that out when he go to jail, when he gets shot and go to jail? Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. We know what's up, man.
taunting him while he was powerless to respond. He became more angry and didn't trust anybody.
Don't forget about that clicking up thing, you know what I mean? Be to yourself. Stay to yourself.
Trust nobody. Trust nobody.
After dog. You know what I mean? Straight up. My closest friends did me in.
Keisha did a lot to help Park while he was in jail. In fact, that was one of the reasons he married her. He wanted her to be taken more seriously when handling his affairs, so he made her his wife. Keisha contacted Death Row Records to speak to Suge Knight. She pleaded with him to help Tupac and to look into working with him. "You're the only one who can help him," she said. Till this day, Suge gives Keisha her props for being the only person who looked out for Park, and she was instrumental in getting Tupac signed.
So why did he leave her though? That's what I want to know. Why did you leave her? This was a down ass chick right here, bro. This is the most solid. Hey man, we gotta give her flowers, bro. For real, we gotta give her flowers, bro. We gotta give her flowers, bro.
To this day.
Cause it ain't many like her, man. For real, it ain't many like her, bro. She's a rare commodity of woman, man. Salute to Keisha, man. We need to definitely salute her, man. She definitely deserves her flowers, man. She held it down, bro. I know we've been sitting up here, we've been watching shit about Madonna and fucking Jada. Lying ass bitch. But Keisha held it down, bruh. Keisha was the one, bro. I don't care what y'all say. Keisha was the one. Shout out to Keisha, bruh. Shout out to her, bro. She was the one. Why did Pac leave her?
To Death Row Records. Suge travelled from LA to New York to visit Park. When he went there, Park said he didn't want to rap anymore and that thug life was dead. Suge claims he told Tupac to get that BS out of his head and that all eyes are on him. And the rest is history. Tupac was the first artist to have a #1 album while incarcerated with Me Against the World. Suge was able to get Tupac bailed out.
His best album.
Coming up with the $1.4 million in bail money. It got to the point where Keisha couldn't take it anymore. She had given up a lot to be up there with Tupac, putting school and her job on hold. She became depressed at the time too. Finally, she had to get away. She graduated in 1995 and then she went on vacation. She travelled to Florida and California for a month and a half to clear her head and get away from it all. This was right before Tupac was released from jail. In the fall of 1995, Tupac posted bail and was released from prison. He began working on what would be his most successful album yet, All Eyes on Me. And he would soon release his most successful double A-side single, California Love and How Do You Want It. Just 5 months after he was released from jail, Tupac and Keisha's marriage was annulled. I thought that things were changing, that he had changed. Things were very different once he got bail, and I felt like I wasn't needed anymore. It wasn't a good feeling. Of course, you don't know from being so young. But I just felt like, wow, okay, it's over. I don't need you anymore. I'm getting out, that's it. She filed for an annulment on the advice of her lawyers, who believed that an annulment would be more suitable than a divorce. It was less complicated, especially for tax purposes. She said it was a mutual decision between her and Park. After they went their separate ways, they still spoke. He would call me and leave messages and say, "Listen to this song," or "How are you? It's Tupac." I remember him specifically saying, "You don't understand now, but you will understand later," because he always had this notion that we were going to get back together. So I remember him telling me he didn't want to damage me. He didn't want me to get hurt in any of whatever was going on with him. So he'd rather leave me alone. Was I hurt? Absolutely. Did I feel like I was used? Absolutely. But I understand now. Am I angry? Absolutely not. But when you're so young, you do so many things. You know how many times your parents tell you not to do something and you do the opposite? It's life lessons. It's growth. I knew Tupac.
Sometimes you gotta hit your head to learn. That's real talk. Sometimes you gotta hit your head to learn. Sometimes you gotta touch that. Sometimes you gotta touch that iron and know that you're not supposed to touch that iron. Sometimes you're supposed to learn. Sometimes you're supposed to touch that stove to know you're not supposed to touch that stove. Sometimes you're not supposed to play with them kids down the street that you know you're not supposed to be hanging around with. Because what's going to happen? Consequences. You know what I'm saying? We all go through them. It's life lessons. We go through them. And it makes us better at the end of the day. That's real shit.
No one can take that away. I really knew him. And he would never hurt me. Keisha confirmed that the marriage was not consummated in prison. Tupac wanted to prove to her that he didn't want her for that. She maintains that there was no conjugal visits. This is probably the main reason she was able to get an annulment.
He said that I could still drop loads, but we don't want to consummate it here, and this is not the place. It was very holy for him, to his marriage with her.
Hey, he held it down, though. That's a real one. Pac is a real one. One time for Pac, ladies and gentlemen.
I think I mean to say that while Keisha and Tupac were married, that there was in fact no conjugal relationship between the two of them.
A lot of people would think it was a marriage of convenience, and that, but they decided not to.
He didn't want to.
And tell me again, from in your words, why he didn't want to do that? Because that you know, a lot of folks watching right now don't understand what.
He didn't want people to think that that's why he married me. He didn't marry me just for that sole purpose or anything like that. He married me because he loved me.
The way the marriage ended kind of confirmed to many that perhaps Tupac didn't have the purest of motives when he married her, and he ditched her once he got what he wanted. In a 2000 interview with The Source, Keisha admitted that she and Pac were in a loving relationship, but it was partially strategic. The marriage allowed her to handle Tupac's business matters. She never saw any financial gain after the marriage, and did not expect to receive anything from Tupac's estate after his death, although they did divorce before his death, so she probably would not have been entitled to anything anyway. So what about Khadida? It's common knowledge that Khadida Jones was with Tupac in Vegas the night he was shot, and there were reports that they were engaged. Khadida confirmed this and detailed their relationship in her father's book. She is the daughter of Quincy Jones. When asked the last time she saw Tupac, Keisha said he came into New York and left a message for her to call him. He was staying at the Hotel Nico and wanted her to come and meet him there. She called him back and they spoke for half an hour. She said, "We were on the phone for half an hour. I was like, but why? We're divorced. We don't have anything." And he was like, "You will always be Mrs. Shakur." So after a lot of coaxing, I went to the Hotel Nico to meet him after the MTV Awards. He opened up the door and was like, "What's up? You look good." And we spoke. It was weird. We spoke, but we didn't speak. It was more like he just wanted me to lay down. And he went to sleep. No intimacy, nothing like that. I got up in the morning. He was still sleeping when I left, she said. The next day they did speak, and he asked her why she never woke him up that morning. She didn't want to wake him because he was sleeping so peacefully. The next thing she heard, he had been shot in Vegas. She said if she had known that that would be the last time she would see him, she would have woken him to say goodbye. When asked about the conspiracy theories about Tupac faking his death and still being alive, she said she knows that they are not true because he would have called her. As for Khadida, Keisha said, he had all this time to marry her. Why did he not? He told me that he was just using her in relation to her father. He had been with many women, a lot of times. That didn't bother me. I just got used to it very quickly. 2 months after marrying Keisha, Tupac wrote a letter to Madonna, essentially breaking up with her, saying, "At the risk of sounding overly dramatic, the effects of racism make it difficult for a young black male to properly show affection to an older white woman." So there appeared to be some overlap between him dating Madonna and Keisha. Keisha said, "I was only 21 when I met Tupac, and he wanted to get married right away. People think he wanted to get married to me because he was in jail and wanted visits. But that was not the case. I met him in June, and in September, he bought me a ring.
You know, we actually were engaged to be married way before he was even incarcerated.
Tupac married me to be respected when I called death row. I held him up when he was in prison. I spoke to his associates and journalists. He did not want people to say, oh, it's just his girlfriend. He wanted me to be named. I could have kept the name. Some say I should have asked for some of the money too. But to do what? Keisha is rarely mentioned when it comes to Park and his relationships. In fact, their story wasn't even included in the movie, All Eyes on Me. Instead,
I think that's a good thing that didn't happen. Have you seen this movie? This movie is ass, bruh.
Hear me good, nigga. I'm here to double down. That shit is a 2-pack of ass. The fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks.
That's a good thing. You don't want to. I wouldn't want to be associated with this fucking movie. This is a terrible rendition of what happened with Pac's life. This is a terrible. I hope they redo it in the future and they do it with justice. They do it with love. They do it with passion. And they do it with the family involved. Don't wait till Afeni died and then put this fucking movie. No. These niggas try to make a quick buck off Pac because they know niggas love this nigga to death. Man, fuck Hollywood.
his relationship with Khadijah.
I ain't got nothing against the actors that did this. I understand for the actors' side, get your money, get it back. But for the people that writ this movie, the people that greenlit this movie, y'all can go to hell. Fuck y'all.
And his friendship with Jada Pinkett Smith was the focus. Part of the reason is believed to be the low profile she has kept over the years. She went on to earn a master's degree and is now an educator. She is also a mother of 2. In the book, Tupac Resurrection, Tupac is quoted as saying, "I'm a romantic. I thought at the time I wanted to be married. I got married to someone I cared about. It was a girlfriend. I never had a girlfriend. So it was my only real girlfriend. So we just got married and it didn't work.
Damn.
Not because of her, me or Joe. It wasn't the right thing to do at the time. When I married her for the wrong reasons. I cared for her, but I married her because I was in jail. I was alone. I didn't want to be alone. I was like, well, she's there. I care about her. She cares about me. Let me show some commitment." Watching Oprah, that's what happened. Oprah and all these shows, all these women talking about commitment. I was like, oh, okay. And they were like, it's so romantic when a guy proposes. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, imagine if a guy's in jail and proposes. You grow. We all grow. Either you evolve or you disappear. And I want to grow. I want to be better. You know what I mean? I want to be able to approach women, deal with women, and give them respect. I was in jail. That's all I could do was watch TV. So I got married. I don't have any bad feelings towards her. We're not married anymore. There wasn't a wedding, just a room and a justice of peace.
As I recall, in an interview he did when he was released, when he was asked why he got divorced, or why the marriage ended, he said, I learned I'm a player and I'm going to be a player for life, etc., etc.
I didn't see that one.
No, I didn't see that one either. I would have got on her for that. But Keisha talks in there's a second interview that comes after this one where she talks about that he would call her up and she'll say, you hurt my feelings when you said that, and he said, he would apologize, but and they would we still had a relationship.
Yeah, they still had a relationship.
Even after the marriage.
Even after we were married. So if that was the case, Tupac was the type of person, if he was through with you, that was it, But that wasn't the case with me. We were still friends up until the day.
And like we said, she was with him the day before he was shot. That she was with him in New York.
The Hotel Nico.
At the Nico Hotel.
Do you think Keisha was his one true love? Or do you believe he was engaged to Khadijah and would have married her had he lived? Or was Tupac simply a player and not ready to settle down at the age of 25? And do you think Tupac would have made a good Bubba? Could you have imagined if he was in that role?
Oh, that would have went crazy. That would have put Pac on a whole different level as far as acting. To be in that movie, that would have put Pac on a whole different level. But I have to say this because I have to speak from a man's perspective, because women don't understand a man's perspective, but they try to analyze and think they know everything. You fucking don't. So let me just break it down for y'all women out there that's gonna probably end up watching this fucking video. Let me break it down for y'all like this. When we hit that age of 25, that is our golden year. All right, that's just a magical year. That's just like a magical year of like us finding ourselves, and we start to understand ourselves, and we start to become self-aware, and we start reflecting on shit that we did right, shit that we did wrong, shit that we could have handled a little better, shit that we probably missed out on opportunities on. That's a year of reflection, and it's also a year of growth. You know what I'm saying? That 25, that year of 25, that's that year of where you're just starting to find yourself. That's when you start trying to figure things out. It doesn't come like that. Everybody thinks that this shit is like a TV show, or thinks that life is like a TV show or a movie, and that by the time you're 21 or 23, you're just supposed to have all the fucking answers. No, you start learning at 25. Understand, ladies, we start learning at 25. We don't grow until we don't grow until our 50s and 60s, really, well, most of your 40s, because if you experience some shit, fucking trains, I fucking hate these trains. Fucking trains. I wish this was GTA. I could just take a bazooka and just shoot it and just hope it hit the fucking train and blow it up. Why the fuck are we still using trains in 2023? Why? What are semis for? What are planes for? Fucking trains. But I don't think that Pac. I think that Pac was starting to find himself. I think he was starting to understand things, and I also think he was just moving a little too fast. And I think he realized that he was moving a little too fast. He realized it. He had so many, and you gotta understand this too. From my understanding of going through this Tupac lore on YouTube, I'm starting to realize the brother was cool with the ladies. The brother just had it with the ladies like that, bro. And you can't hate him. You can't hate on him, and you can't knock him for that. And he just had his way with the ladies. Hey man, that's a young player right there. I can't knock him. You can't hate the player. You can only hate the game. You know what I'm saying? But I still think he was in a space where he, at that age of 25, reflections. You gotta understand, sitting in jail, reflecting on life, trying to figure out, how was I here and now I'm here? That'll do something to a motherfucker, bro. Especially at the age of 25, when you think your life has just been thrown away. You don't understand. Like, for ladies, I hope y'all understand. Like, for men, we just mature at a certain age. Like I said, 25 is where it all starts. Where the journey, where everything starts to click and we start to understand everything, it could be 40, it could be 50, it could be 60, it could be never. There are some niggas out there that just don't fucking learn. But the point that I'm trying to make is, I just think that Tupac realized that he was moving a little too fast. Let me settle down. Let me try to put myself in the right position for me to ever love again. Right now, I'm young, I'm rich, I got money, I got motherfucking enemies left and right. I don't really think it's a good time for me to be in love like that. But I think he knew that Keisha was the one. Because I'm letting it be known right now, if I met a girl like Keisha, that's the one. I'm not fucking that up for nothing. That is the one. Now, getting married 11 months later, that's kind of wild. You know what I'm saying? At least 5 years. At least, listen, I would never get married. But if I had a woman like Keisha, give me about 5 years, I'll put a ring on it. I just want to go through the ups and the downs of our relationship. And when you go through the ups and downs of a relationship, it helps grow. It helps you and your partner grow more. And I don't think they had enough time to move like that, especially considering the fact that she was only 20. And she was being ambitious and she was out there for her goals. But the greatest thing about her was her personality. She was understanding. She had standards for herself. Respect to Keisha all around, bro. Respect to Keisha, bro. Straight up, bro. She a real one, bro. Salute to Pac too. JADA, on the other hand, Jada Pinkett Smith. You capping ass bitch. You thought we forgot. The whole purpose of this motherfucking video. Was to pretty much prove, Jada, you was a capping ass bitch. And when we see you on the street, we slapping the shit out your back of your motherfucking head, bitch. Talking about some, he proposed to me while I was in jail. Bitch, please. I'm telling you, everybody get the baby oil, get the holy water. When you see Jada Pinkett Smith, smack the fuck out that bitch, back of that bitch head, man. For real, man. This bitch out here lying. She lying. She capping. Cap. Jada, you a lying ass bitch. We know he didn't propose to you, because look at what he was going through. He didn't propose to you. He probably said something that seemed like he was proposing to you, but in actuality, it really wasn't that. Because you delusional. Jada, you delusional, bro. You delusional. I don't believe a motherfucking word that come out your mouth. You are delusional at this point in time. I don't know if you're going through menopause or what, but bitch, you gotta go. You gotta go. I don't know what it is you're going through. You going through menopause or something, bitch. You gotta go. Get it. What you do to Will? That's between you and Will. That's your husband. That's who you need to. If you want to keep embarrassing that man and keep indoctrinating that man like that, then keep doing that to him. But Pac, he ain't here. He ain't here to defend himself. He ain't here to confirm your lies, whether it's truth or not. So with that being said, bitch, shut up. We are in the midst of trying to figure out what the fuck happened at that night in Vegas. We all want closure. His family wants closure. The fans of him want closure. We not here for it right now. The only time we need to be hearing about Tupac in the news is when it's to know if this nigga Diddy was responsible for this man's death. That's all we trying to figure out. Was he responsible for this man's death? And who the fuck pulled that damn trigger? So we just want closure, bro. It's been 30 fucking years. We want closure. That's all we asking for. But anyway, so I'm going to leave it right there for right now. I'll see you on the next video. Tell me what y'all think down in the comment section below. I'll get back to you. Till then, peace out.